So today I'm gonna do a come cook with me video. I'm not gonna do too many edits. It's gonna be slow, relax, chill. So grab a coffee and I'm gonna show you how to make the most amazing sourdough bread and all the tips and tricks that I use so you can use it at home to make your sourdough bread super successful. Let's go. We're gonna start mixing our flour and our water and letting it sit for a couple hours, and this is called the autolyse. So let's see, I don't have that much bread flour left. All I have is like that much left. So I'll just use whatever I have, and then I'll just use whole wheat. So I got exactly 300 grams. And then we'll do 200 grams of whole wheat. So a total of 500 grams. Then we'll do 345 grams of water, which should be around a 90% hydration. Well, 354 grams, I guess. So now we're just gonna mix this until the flour and the water are combined. So whole wheat is able to absorb more water than the white flour, so you can go a little bit higher with the hydration when you're using whole wheat. I mean, you can do it with the white flour too, which is going to be more difficult to work with. I tend to like higher hydration doughs. I probably could go more water actually. This isn't like that sticky at all. I might just add some more water. When you start making sourdough, you really should measure, but you can just tell by the way the dough looks. Whether you want to have a higher hydration or not. Looks better. I like a challenge, so I like to do high hydration. All right, that's good. Now we'll let this sit for an hour and a half, 2 hours, which is called an autolyse, and it lets the gluten form. So now we're just gonna cover this, let it sit for a few hours. I like using these like shower caps that I bought on Amazon. They're like pretty cheap, like $6 for like, I don't know, 100 of them. And they just go right over the bowl. Not the most sustainable thing, but they work really well. All right, so we'll come back to this in like an hour. All right, it's been about an hour. So we're also gonna do a little bit of an experiment today. I put my starter in the refrigerator after I fed it. I fed it and I let it rise about almost double. And then I put it in the refrigerator overnight, and I'm gonna see if I can control and slow down the starter and see if I can like just put it away when like I want, and then like take it out the next day and not having it to like double in size right before I use it. So we're gonna see how that works. And if it does work, that makes sourdough bread even easier to make. All right, so let's see how this looks. It looks really gummy and not great, but we'll see. We'll give it a mix and we'll see if any more gluten has formed. Actually, let's see, it's breaking. When you stretch it, oh, well, that one didn't break. So it's actually looking okay. So the gluten has formed. It's pretty tight. It's actually not that sticky. All right, so I'm gonna add my starter. I'm gonna add my salt, and we're gonna start bulk fermentation. Let's go. All right, so we're gonna measure out 100 grams of the starter. It smells good. It's pretty bubbly. Not bad. It has doubled since I got it out of the refrigerator. It kind of sank overnight and then it kind of started activating this morning. Feels good. Stretchy. It's always a good sign. We'll see what happens. This could be a complete fail, but if it's not, that means it's be a lot easier to make bread. You can just let the starter almost double in size, put it in the refrigerator, and take it out the next day. You don't have to bother. All right, it's 100 grams. So my starter is 100% hydration, and I always figure the starter into the equation when I'm measuring out like the hydration and stuff. And I had someone comment saying that, oh, the hydration isn't really this, but I don't think they understand that you're supposed to figure in your starter. That's okay. I go a little heavy on the salt. I go about like 11, 12 grams. I find that's really, I have a little bit of a salty palate from being a chef. So I'm just gonna wet my hands slightly. And I'm just gonna fold the salt and the starter in. And this is, you can already see it's building a lot of gluten already. I think this is gonna come out pretty nice. It's gonna bake up good. I'm gonna see also, I'm just gonna let it go all the way today. And I'm not gonna do my usual overnight in the refrigerator. And I'm just gonna let it go until it's ready to go in the oven. Just to see how make it a lot more easier. Plus I kinda wanna eat bread today, so. I like to mix this in really well. All right, I think that's good. And I'm gonna let it start bulk fermenting. It's pretty hot out today where I am, so it's probably gonna go a little bit faster. That'd be nice. All right, so we're gonna cover this. I'm gonna come back to it in about 40 minutes. All right, so it's been 40 minutes and it's looking good now. Gonna give it some stretch and folds. Dough's looking pretty good. It's not breaking. The gluten is forming pretty nicely. I do about 4 stretch and folds because look, it just gets super tight after that. I kind of just shape it into a nice ball. See? I'm just gonna cover this and come back in another 40 minutes. Yeah, it's looking really good. All right, I'll see you guys in 40 minutes. All right, it's been 40 minutes. Gonna give it another stretch and fold. Dough's looking good. There's some like bubbles, as you can see. And after the first stretch and fold, you want to be a little bit more gentle because it is building up gas right now, so you don't want to destroy all that. The gluten is formed pretty nicely. It's already, look at this. It's so tight. It's got good gluten structure. It's really important. All right, I think that's really it. I really can't do too much to this. The dough is pretty tight, which is a good sign. All right, well, we'll come back to it in 40 minutes, see how it looks. All right, we're gonna do our last stretch and fold. Dough's looking good, nice and elastic. Stretching without breaking, which is exactly what you want. It's already tight after 3 stretches. So I think I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna make it into a nice ball. And then I'm gonna leave it for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. It needs to expand about 30 to 40% in size. If you go a little over, that's fine. It's better to be a little over than be under. All right, well, we'll see what it looks like in 5 hours. All right, it's been about 6 hours and the dough is looking pretty good. It's got lots of bubbles. Seems like it's risen about 30%. It's not that sticky to the touch. I'm actually gonna do an overnight proof because it's getting kind of late. So we'll bake this off tomorrow. I'm just gonna wet my hand. Take this out of here. Stretch this out a bit. Fold it over again. Tuck and roll it. I'm just gonna drag it, tighten it up. This dough is actually pretty easy to manage. This builds lots of surface tension. This is one of my favorite methods of shaping, pre-shaping. Should be good. It's pretty tight now. All right, I'm gonna leave that for 15 minutes and come back to it and get it in the Benetton. All right, it's been 15 minutes. Gonna put some sesame seeds on top. It's one of my favorite toppings to put on sourdough. Adds a nice nuttiness. I like using my bench scraper for this part. Just gonna turn it over. Let's fold it over again and again. Roll it. Nice. Close up the ends. Just pinch them closed. forgot to flour the batter. Came undone a little bit, it's okay. Let's do some crisscross action. Seal it up. Just take the rest of the sesame seeds, put on the bottom of the lid. Hit it with some flour. Just use all-purpose flour. That's it. We're gonna put it in the refrigerator for 12 to 18 hours. You can go to 48, but it is still proofing in the refrigerator. It doesn't stop, so just keep that in mind. All right, and we'll bake this off in the morning. I'll see you guys in the morning. It rose a little bit. I'll show you. It's looking good. Look how beautiful this bread looks. Wow. Passes the poke test. All right, we're gonna get some parchment paper. Really excited to see how this bread is gonna turn out. If that refrigeration with the starter trick worked. I feel like it did, because it like rose and stuff, so. And the bread looks like it normally does. It's a beautiful shape. Might be my best one yet, actually. The thing with sourdough is like, the more you make it, the better and better you get at it. Let's see. My ears have not been coming out well, but I think I've been using a super high hydration, so I think that has something to do with it. All right, let's get this in the oven. Gonna put it in for 40 minutes. Gonna leave my water in the whole time, because that's the way I do it. All right, so the bread is done. It's looking really good. Whoa, look at that. Super golden brown. And I left the water in the whole time. Kept it at 500 degrees. Look at that rise. So nice. Whoa, shape is beautiful. Wow, look at that bread. Crispy crust. Wow, beautiful. A little bit of an ear, well, that's fine. We're gonna let this bread cool down, and then we'll cut into it in about an hour or two. Wow, so beautiful. Here we go. We're gonna slice into this bread. It is cooled, and we're gonna see what it looks like, what the crumb looks like. I can tell you right now, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be quite excellent. Let's see. Whoa. Beautiful. Nice open crumb. Springs back nicely. I am very happy with this bread. Look at that. Sesame seeds are perfectly toasted, golden brown. If you guys get any value from this video, like, share, subscribe, and there'll definitely be a lot more sourdough content to follow. I'll see you guys on the next one.